Yeah, I think this is the delivery. Delivery just arrived. Signing it. Sign on dotted line. See you guys. See you, mate. All right, here we go. Hey Techno Freaks, Techno Odin here, and welcome back to Hunting Ground Analyzed, the simple coaching series where we strive to improve our hunting potential. And I feel like I have to apologize. This is like 2 weeks since the last Hunting Ground Analyzed, and yeah, I really am sorry. Few personal issues and tied with the samurai itself nearly killing the game last week. It's been quite difficult to get another video out, but we will carry on and we will move forward, and we are back on Overgrowth. We really need some new maps, don't we? And a big thank you for Tukok from the Hunting Grounds Reddit for supplying me with some samurai footage. Now, he does warn me that there was a pesky Amazon delivery around the 4-minute mark, so if he has gone AFK, that's how we know. And he also plays with the music off, which I do myself because the music is a distraction, no doubt about it. I think the music itself does try and help, similar to how Friday the 13th worked, where the music gets more intense the closer you are, but I still think that kind of can go by the wayside. Sometimes, as a survivor in Friday the 13th, that didn't help much, it just showed he was in the area. It didn't help you really show where he was. So I think in the Predator game, having the music off is a much more viable way to play. But anyway, we have samurai footage, and let's just call it for what it is. The samurai nearly killed the game. We had myself voicing over on the official forums, having 1 month dedicated just to the Predator and then 1 month dedicated to the fire team is gonna have a real yo-yo effect. We had other YouTubers like Rogue Z and Shifo really having bad times with the game. Rogue Z has had a lot to say about the game's state, and I agree with a lot of what he says. But in the game, the samurai suffers the same thing as the berserker: pitiful stamina. For the guys who are supposed to be the melee-orientated builds, the samurai and the berserker have terrible stamina resources, meaning that after a few hits, they need to disengage and jump out or get away, because otherwise they won't be able to use a full leap away because they'll have too low a stamina. And the katana, the new weapon, takes a jack ton of stamina from you. So you combine the two together and you're going to have a bad time if we get some parries. But looking at this build, this is an interesting one, and I can see where the cogs are turning. So we have the katana and the net gun alongside your standard healing kit, burr trap. That's quite useful. You get the burr trap, you latch someone, you get your katana out, you slice, and hopefully by the time they get out, they're dead. Now the perks, something I find interesting. Impenetrable, yeah. You've got this guy who more or less is a lesser health version of the berserker. So you throw some damage resistance, and on paper that should make him just as bulky. I say on paper because for some reason the samurai goes down like he's made of rice paper. But it's still a really strong option for him, and it's becoming a really meta perk. Fearless, more melee damage, pretty much a given. Now fast hands gets my head turning. I can see where we're going. We've got the katana, we've got the net gun. We're going to use fast hands so we can net someone up, switch out to our katana, and then slice, and we've got some sushi. However, I'm going to hold my thoughts until I actually see it happen, because fast hands deep down is a bit of a con. The Predator's weapon switch is immensely slow, and the fast hands doesn't really improve it as much. You go from like being a snail running in molasses to a tortoise running in molasses. You'll get there quicker, but it's still all molasses. So for alternatives, we can keep impenetrable. That perk's gold. But next I would run Lightbender. Your cloak is a massive drain on your resources. Samurai seems to just eat up that cloak. So having that cloak last that little bit longer is going to really help you in the long matter. And in fact, I think that's actually becoming the meta. Impenetrable Lightbender seems to be the main perk. Then we can go with either, you know, downrange if you're using like more range-based weapons, or if you really want the damage out of the katana, the Fearless perk. Downrange is because the katana itself does some decent damage, and that bleed damage can stack from your heavy attack and your light attack. So with that in mind, you're still going to be doing damage, and then a good range shot will kind of help that out. So you can get in, do a 2 attacks, get out, range shot, range shot, range shot, you're going to probably be golden. Me personally, I run Adrenal Boost as my third one, and I'm still not kind of settled on it. I'm doing it in the option of more stamina regen means I can get out of fire a lot quicker, but when you lose stamina with the Samurai, it still takes a while to go. So even with Adrenal Boost, it's one of those iffy options. Anyway, with that said, let's get on to the match. Okay, so we're in the Waterfall exfil. So that's okay. We could have kept the map on a bit longer, but, you know, we nice get to see our golden samurai boy. But now we have our game plan. We're in the waterfall, so we could check the temple area, see if there's any NPC or any blueprints in the big temple itself. But that's not as important. Like, okay, target isolation. What? Why? Why did you do? Right. Okay. Why did you activate your target isolation scan and then take the heat vision off? That is a waste of the scan. Like, you use it, and yeah, you've got a couple of seconds to put it back on, but you saw a little red blink, and then you're off. Like, so that's a big mistake. That was a very big mistake. You know, you get to the area, you use your target isolation scan, you check it for where they're coming to as much until it goes off. That was a big waste, and we don't know where they're coming from entirely now. So we've got our net gun out. Okay. Now, yeah, the clicks are going to make it a lot harder. That was a bit of a weird jump, but So they're coming from the... So I can hear some sounds coming from the left of us. So... yeah, I think that they've gone into the camp from the left side. So they've gone all the way around. I can see them there. So let's get in. Now it's fine what you're doing here, but be careful with the trees as well. You're making a lot of noise in the trees. People see that or hear that. Now this is fine. So we can see them there. They're all kind of gathering up. So they're all keeping together as well. Now... cool, we're getting some scannage. So we've got everyone scanned at least. Don't know why it all went off, but okay. I know it's an annoyance, but why are we still in the tree all the way over here? Now, don't get me wrong, I know the trees have been buffed. The foliage is a lot safer to be at. But from here, to get a drop on someone, we're going to have to leap. And once we leap, our stamina is going to be really short. And if we want to try and utilize the katana or utilize some melee options, we're going to have low stamina to get away. So I would probably have leaped onto the crow's nest just over here. And then maybe if I just had enough, get onto the building over there. I'm closer and I'm able to get the katana up and running. Then I can use the quick switch if I need to. But let's see what happens. So there's a guy there, looks like he's mudding up. Yeah, he's mudding up. Nice net. Oh, unlucky. Okay. Okay, now we're overcommitting. Overcommitting. Look at your health. Look at your health. Get out. Get out. Right. Let's just go back. This was the thing I was talking about, molasses. No matter how quick you switch, it's still pretty slow. By the time you switched to your weapon, to the katana, from where you were, and you did it as soon as you shot, you were basically parallel to him, side by side, when you could go for the attack. He was just in front of you for the lunge to take effect, and the lunge took you away from him. Now, the main thing is weapon range. Go into custom matches and get a feel for the weapon range, and you'll be able to get the hits in and not go past the opponent. Now, really, you should, where I've stopped it here, that's the best place to stop yourself to switch your weapon. Once you switch, go into the heavy attack. Always open the katana with a heavy attack. It's going to be the most damage, and it's going to be the most bleed. Then you land a light attack to add the final stack of bleed, and then you can kind of either go for another heavy attack, but I think the main combo is heavy, light, light, heavy, heavy, and that should technically take them down. Once they're at bleed, though, you can just do whatever, and this is the thing about overcommitting. We go in, we miss, we get the combo, we get hit, we get parried, so he's out and he parries you instantly. That's warning bells. You've been parried and they're firing at you. This is where we don't want to commit to anything. But you've got the bloodlust. You've got that red vision. Now you're in so low health. And he would have died anyway. I think that by then he would have probably gone down anyway from the hits as it was. You could have just escaped. You've wasted all that stamina and now you're in second wind because you couldn't leap away. This is what I meant about the samurai having low stamina and the katana taking so much. You can't afford to be parried so easily, and you can't afford to be parried more than once. So now we're in a really bad situation. So yeah, you really need to get as far away as possible. I mean, even that's not a great thing. If these guys are on the top of their game, they're going to be like hound on top of you any second. And we are lucky. Now, I'd be cancelling here. I'd really be cancelling. Alright, we didn't need to do that. We didn't need to do the full hit. Oh, right. Okay, so I think this is the Amazon moment. Yeah, I think this is the delivery. Delivery just arrived. Signing it. Dotted, sign on dotted line. See you guys, see you mate. Alright, here we go. So. Okay, so now we're getting fired at. Missed with the net. Now, let's see. Okay, missed it again. Now, something you could do here. Missed again. Right. Okay, we got him there, but... So, I'm going to pause it here and talk about something that I like to call weaving. I use this based on a MMO term, Final Fantasy XIV. In that game, you have global cooldowns, off-global cooldowns. Weaving is the art of using your off-global cooldowns in between your global cooldowns to keep the DPS up. And for this game, I use weaving as using the wrist blade in tandem with the ranged weapon you're using. You see this a lot with higher level players. The art of attacking with the wrist blade, then aiming the ranged weapon, firing it up close, then going back in with the wrist blade. That's the weaving part. You're weaving the ranged weapon into your wrist blade combo. Now, one of the best weapons to do that with is the net gun. Lunge in with a wrist blade strike, aim the net, fire the net, bang, you've caught them. It's that simple. So in this situation where you're missing and you're missing again, if you're catching up to the guy, your lunge from the wrist blade would have landed, and then you could have netted up, gone for another wrist blade strike, and then just either keep spamming the wrist blade or utilizing that time to get your katana out. Instead, we've kind of wasted a few nets in trying. And just remember, you have 10 nets left. You have 10 nets left. So now we are going to get this boar, I'm assuming. Yeah. Now you've also been spotted, so, you know. Actually, let's go back. Let's just go back. Right, this is why we look at our scoreboard, to make sure we know everything about our opponent. We have 2 assaults, a support, and a Dutch. So if we'd have known this at the beginning, going in all katana wielding would have been very problematic. And had you have checked a lot more, you'd have known what you were dealing with. Okay, we're leaping. That was unfortunate. And I think you were just trying to jump out and you jumped on the tree. Elphonic really do need to... I would say you need to probably, if that's the case, change your custom controls and have R3 as the option. It does some really messed up things as well, but nice kill. Oh, that's dangerous, but we've got it out. Bit risky. Okay, we killed the boar. Now, the big problem with custom controls is they're kind of effed up. I can use the R3 button to leap onto trees and climb them, but I now sacrifice my option to give up on second wind, which is great because I don't actually intend to, but it just feels a bit weird. Now, we're missing again. Again, this is where weaving would have come... Oh, that's a good shot. But I don't think he's the net guy. No, he's not. So that's where weaving comes in. Wrist blade, net, wrist blade, wrist blade, wrist blade.
I need help. Check it.
Like,
Get this off me.
Gotta say, your net game is good. Oh no, it's like, oh no, excuse me, I'm trying to do what I'm doing. Let me claim, please. Okay, now we got one-on-one. And we're going katana. We're going to go full honor. We're going to go for the full honor defect. So, let's see. We are... Oh! And, yeah, another one. And, yep, down. Okay. So, good game. Right. So, I've said this since the very beginning. Keep that map up. The cutscene's fine. Looking at the... samurai and it's all golden glory is fine, but you need to see where you are, what the fire team is running, and plan your route accordingly. When it came to the overall game plan, I kind of didn't know what exactly you were trying to do. You weren't essentially going to look for clues or look for radios, and when you activated your target isolation, you turned it off straight away. So it didn't seem like you really cared where the fire team came from. You just saw the red light, okay, it's that way. And then you went and waited for them to arrive. And when they did arrive, you waited again in the tree outside of the camp. The other thing is, let's also talk about the overcommitment. You stayed in too long and you got shredded for it. So knowing when to disengage is going to be so vital. Like, deep down, we all know the samurai is not the best. If you want to keep running the samurai, you've just got to pick your moments back. But otherwise, since you're at the level, Elder all the way. Okay, guys, that's it for today's video. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell thingy, and do the same for some of my other videos. Also, if you yourself have any videos that you want to submit, just follow the on-screen instructions. And until that day, this has been Techno Odin. Take care.